I bought 24 books, bought an extra suitcase for my books. Interesting, I nearly joined the Chinese cult. I walked through a movie set. I got told to piss on a dog. I went up the CN Tower and walked on the glass floor. I saw Niagara Falls. It was absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed every second of it. Mostly every second of it. Hi and welcome back to my booktube channel. My name is Sam and today I am on another adventure because you cannot stop me from traveling this globe. But yeah, today I am in Toronto, Canada. I am very excited. I'm here for 7 days, Wednesday to Wednesday. And yeah, I've just arrived yesterday. I got in about 4 o'clock and by the time I got to my hotel it was like 6 o'clock here, and so it was basically midnight my time, and I thought, you know what, let's not let jet lag get me down, and I went straight book shopping and I bought 3 books already. I'm not going to get into that because this is the intro, but I just wanted to say, if you want to beat jet lag, just get out there and walk it off. My back was killing me, but I did it anyway. But yeah, and I don't feel jet lagged at all today, so let's go. Just got off the flight. It's currently 12 p.m. my time, but I'm just wandering around Toronto now looking for food. I'm very excited. The main thing we're here to see, I'm meeting my friend from school here. So this is my first time traveling alone, but I'm meeting like a friend here anyway, and we're going to do stuff together. I'm also going to meet Tammie Tries to Read, aka Tammie, on Sunday, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, the main thing I'm here to see is Niagara Falls, obviously one of the world wonders. Not officially, but it should be. And then we're going to go up to the CN Tower today because we have a forecast of rain all week. So I think we're just hoping to get up there before it gets too cloudy and you can't see anything. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it's going to rain all week, but hey ho, it is what it is. I'm in a different continent, so I don't care. Also, I stayed at the Rex Jazz Bar Hotel. It's right on Queen Street, walkable literally to everything. It was the perfect location, couldn't have asked for better. The rooms aren't amazing. You do have to pay extra for your own toilet as well, but the location is what it is, and it's also pretty cheap compared to other places. So definitely recommend the Rex Hotel. Here's a little room tour. Okay, so this is the room. It's very 80s murder motel vibes. But there's the entrance. This is the wardrobe. 4 coat hangers, 2 shelves. Then here is the bathroom. Not too bad actually compared to the rest of the room. Private bathroom. You've seen the picture of the communal one. And then that's the rest of the room. Yeah. I mean, it's double bed, telly, private bathroom. Can't ask for more. I've made a mess of it already. Here are the windows. They're really weird. Okay, so you have to to open them, you go you twist this, And then you have to have like the shutters where you like twist these or something, and then you have to undo the net by doing that, but then it doesn't actually come out. But yeah, that's the room. I am knackered, and there's a weird like room bit up there. But yeah, I'm very excited, so I thought I'd bring you along with me, and yeah, we'll get into the vlog and I'll catch up with you later. Bye. Oh, it's Thursday today. We'll catch up with you later today when we've done all the stuff. So let's get into the CN Tower and shopping and walking around Toronto. Let's go. So I am currently waiting in the rail yard museum outdoor thing, waiting for my friend to come. There's the CN Tower. So yeah, it's very pretty. So I was told to try beaver tail, so I went and got one from this little shop down at Harbourfront, and it was basically a flat donut, like a crispy donut. It was okay. To the CN Tower, we headed back up to Nathan Phillips Square and then walked all the way down Queen Street to the right to see a filming location that you'll recognise when it comes up. But yeah, here's the old City Hall and some other things along the way, including some bookshops that weren't too big on, but they were okay.
Then we headed over to Sankofa Square, or Youngdas Square, something like that. It's got a new name, but I call it Sankofa Square anyway. So yeah, we headed over there because we had a show, Beetlejuice, to go and see, so we were just lingering around there until the show started. I did try poutine. It wasn't actually that bad until the cheese ran out, and then it was just soggy chips. Okay, so I am filming this in retrospect 2 months late, but I'm just gonna hop back in and fill in some gaps because I started to feel like really ill towards the end of this video, so I didn't like vlog like this in person, so mostly it's just footage, so I'm gonna fill in some of the gaps. So that was the end of day one. We kind of did everything on our to-do list in the first day because we had a show booked at the Mervish Theatre, Beetlejuice, and that was like booked for like 7 o'clock, so we were kind of just like, we don't want to go back to the hotels because we were both staying in like completely different areas, so we're like, we'll just keep walking around, and we ended up just ticking things off, and we got through most of the checklist, which was mostly bookshops anyway. But yeah, that was so interesting. I loved the CN Tower. It was actually a lot chunkier, if that makes sense, than I thought. I thought it was gonna be like this small little whippet of a tower, but it was huge and it felt huge, and I love that you can see it from all over the city, and it really is like a really good landmark. So if you're walking around different places and you kind of feel like, wait, where am I? Oh, there's the CN Tower, I know where I am, because that's the harbourfront area. So I thought it was a really good landmark, and I used it quite often. I mean, there was one point later in this video where I meet someone, spoiler, and I felt like I'd left the city. I was like in the suburbs, and I was like, where am I? And then I look around and like I see the CN Tower in the distance. I felt like, okay, I haven't gone too far. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. The glass floor was so scary. I couldn't look down. I looked down, but through my phone, like I was filming as I walked, and that's how I looked at, because I can't do heights. If there's like nothing between me, if it's just glass, I can't do heights. But I love going up high places. But no, I'm glad I did it at least. And I didn't watch the new Final Destination before I went. I purposely didn't watch it until I came back from the trip. What else did we do? We also went to Kim's Convenience, which, if you don't know, is a show on Netflix about a Korean family running a convenience store, and it's just like a comedy, and it's quite fun. I think it's adapted from like a stage play or something, I heard. But it's got Simu Liu in it. What a man. So yeah, I didn't draw the heart around his face, but I claimed it with my tag. Okay. But it was kind of not kept up on the inside, which is kind of a shame, because it is like a functioning shop. They just put the signage up outside so they could film it, and then when they stopped filming, they were like, we'll leave the signage up because it'll bring tourists in. And I mean, hey, it worked, but I thought they would like keep the inside a bit tidier, but it was very like on top of each other, ramshackle, and there was like no prices on anything, and I was like, I don't really like this. But yeah, I signed the little thing and then took the pictures outside, and then we left. Like we didn't buy anything because it was just food, convenience stuff. But yeah, it was a really jam-packed first day. We went to a bunch of bookshops and I had a lot of fun. So yeah, let's get on to day 2. Day 2 is mainly Niagara Falls, because it's a huge thing in itself. So we got a bus in the morning. It's just public transport. I think it was like 19 quid for the trip there and back, which is really good. And we went on like a coach from the Union Station bus stop area. It took about 2 hours, and you see like all of Canada as you go along. It's quite nice. One thing I will say briefly, quickly, before we get into the footage to now, for Canada feels like so empty. Like, I know it's like such a huge country, but like just driving through all like these small towns on the way, and just towns, there's like no one like walking on the sidewalks, or like, I guess it was a Tuesday, so they're probably at work. It's not that deep. They're probably just at work, but there was like no pedestrians anywhere. It felt like there were no cars anywhere. Everything was just kind of like a ghost town, and it was kind of creepy. And I was just like, where is everyone? Where are the Canadians, But yeah, on to Niagara Falls, which was breathtaking and by far the best point of this trip. Like, oh my god, it was so stunning. Okay, let's get into Niagara Falls now. So it's day 2 and I am at Niagara Falls. I don't know if you can hear me, but here it is. It's very wet. Okay, so it's day 2 and I'm currently at Niagara. The falls are right there, but you'll see that in a minute. I'm about to go up this tower. It's towards the end of the day, so you'll see that in a minute. But yeah, day 2, let's go. And can I just say, Niagara Falls has been the best part of this trip, and the main reason I came, and it was so fucking good. Like, it's so breathtaking, and we went on the boat into it, and we were right at the front of the boat, and we got soaking wet. It was absolutely brilliant. Definitely recommend the boat in Niagara Falls. Definitely recommend going to Niagara Falls. The best part of the Canadian trip, I was going to say Canadian trip, best part of the Canada trip so far. I loved it. And now I'm going to go see it from above, because I got 2 hours until we got to get the bus back to Toronto. So yeah, and I'm by myself at the minute because my friends ditched me, so yeah. Let's go. So much. There's the American side and the Canadian side just there. The Canadian side is way better. The Canadian Niagara Falls, and this is Canada, this is America. So yeah, I definitely recommend the Skylon? Yeah, Skylon Tower. It's like a tenner and it's so worth it. The views are so good. But like that mesh part, there's no glass in it, and I don't like heights when there's like nothing in front of me. There has to be like a concrete barrier or something in front of me, or at least like glass with a partition wall, but there was nothing. It was so scary. So I was kind of just like holding my phone out trying to get the views, but it was really good. Definitely recommend that, really good. Niagara Falls is definitely the best thing we've done so far. But yeah, I'll talk to you when we get back to the Rex Hotel. But yeah, Niagara Falls was absolutely fucking amazing. Here's the sky on top, definitely go up that, it's only a tenner. Okay, bye. I've been sat here looking at it for about 10 minutes, so it's so beautiful. Okay, so that was day 2, and like I said, it was absolutely stunning, and I felt so lucky also that I was able to see a rainbow that went into Niagara Falls. I don't know if that came up on the video, but there was like a rainbow, and I literally just sat there for like an hour just like looking at the falls on the fence, watching the world go by. It was so good. Seeing it from above in the Skylon Tower, definitely recommend that. That was so cool. Although, I will say the observation deck, I don't know, I feel like I missed part of it because there's like, when you look up at it, there's like glass. But I could only find the bit that was the netted bit, and I didn't want to go near that, so I'm kind of like lunging, trying to get close just enough to get my pictures. And oh my god, the anxiety of people just sticking their phones through the mesh to take pictures and like not really holding on to it. They're just kind of like, and like, meanwhile I'm like gripping my phone with both hands, taking those videos and stuff. I was like, it gave me some anxiety, especially when the older people did it, because the hands were shaking, and I was like, oh my god, what if they drop their phone? Ah! It made me feel so bad. And I did the thing where I sat at the edge and like slowly got closer at the end of it. And people were probably just looking at me like, what is this weirdo doing? But that was really cool. I will, yeah. When people say the Canadian side of the falls, I will say is better. I thought it was kind of an exaggeration. I thought they were just being like, America sucks. But no, the American side sucks. So the Canadian side is the big horseshoe bit, like the famous part of Niagara Falls, what it basically is. And then the American Falls is like the tiny waterfall down the way a little bit. And I find that so funny. And I was saying to my friends, they probably still say it's the greatest falls because you know what Americans are like. No offense, Americans. But yeah, definitely see Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. 100%. If you take one thing from this video, go to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. But yeah, let's go on to day 3. Which is a day where I started off by myself because I really wanted to do the harbourfront cruise to see the skyline, but my friend was like, I don't want to waste the money on it, so I was like, fine, I'll go by myself then. So I first off nipped to the bookshop Indigo again, bought my big purchase of the trip, which was where is it? Oh, it's there, Miss Ball right there. And did that, and then I went down to the boat tour, managed to get the last ticket for sale. He was like, how many? And I was like, only one, please, there's the one left. So yeah. And I have such a funny tale to say about this boat. Okay, so basically the first thing I did was the boat cruise, but I was sat at the top deck on the very front, and there's like park benches around the stern of the ship. Is that the right word? Stern? Like the bow bit at the front. I was on like a park bench there, and then everyone else is kind of seated off or like next to me, and the top of the boat is completely full, but people are still getting on the boat, and obviously people want to sit on the top, so people keep coming up the stairs and finding that there's nowhere to sit. But there's this one American lady. Sorry, there's a theme of Americans in this video, but you guys are not the best travelers, okay? So this American lady comes up, and the entitlement of this lady. So she goes up to the bench opposite to me, which has like a father of a family that's on the other bench there, and a young girl and a friend who stood behind her. They're already squeezed onto this bench, and this American comes up and goes, hey y'all, is there room for me there? And like points to the hand width gap between them, and they're both kind of like, no, there's no room. And she's like, oh no, there's plenty of room, let me squeeze on, I can squeeze on, I know I got a big bum, but come on. And then she proceeds to turn around and start shimmying herself between them. And they're both like being shoved up to the side of the bench. And the man's like, this isn't working, you need to get off. And she's like, no, don't be silly, I can squeeze on. And she does. She squeezes on, but she does it to the extent where they're both like shoved right to the side, and this poor girl just like looks so frustrated. She gets up and she leaves, and then the lady's like, "Oh, that's much better. We got lots of room now, haven't we?" So this man, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that poor girl." She literally went all the way to the other side of the boat, and I had to stand up for the whole thing. And that wasn't even the worst bit. She started to make this like poor like late 50s man start taking boomerangs of her, trying to tell him, oh well, you have to do it like this, and she would do this motion, and he sat there like, I don't want to take pictures with my kids, like. So she makes him do it, and then she goes, no, you've done it wrong, you haven't got the whole thing, you need to do it again. I don't know what this accent is, by the way. But yeah, the entitlement, and then the whole time everyone's had to take pictures of the skyline in the background, and she keeps offering to take the pictures, and then she starts insulting them when they only do like a pose. She's like, stop being boring, do a pose, come on, do something. That was such a highlight. That was so fun. But that was the cruise. The cruise, oh my god, after Niagara Falls, that's probably my favourite thing. Although the CN Tower was also really good. I would say Niagara Falls city cruise tour thing, and then the CN Tower. But the sea cruise was stunning, and we had it on such a nice day as well. Like, it was, sorry, I keep looking at this side because that's where my camera normally is. But I got it on such a blue sky, sunny day. The skyline was beautiful. We had such a good tour guide. I think his name was Parvati or Parthi. He was cute and he was funny. And his picture of him. I took a selfie with him and gave him a tip because I was like, I just want to go get a picture with him. But he was absolutely amazing. So you will be blessed if you have him as your tour guide. But he gave us all the fun insights into the city and things on the skyline that we could see, like the I think it was either the world's or the city's most ugliest building, the Toronto Star, which is like the basis for Clark Kent in Superman, that office building and that thing. So he's like, Superman's actually Canadian. And there was like a broken sundial thing that he made fun of. He made fun of Elon Musk, and he told us all about the filming, like Netflix and that have these big studios on the islands where they film most of their stuff, and a lot of things are filmed in Toronto but set in like America because it's cheaper to film in Canada. And it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed that. And then after the boat cruise, I went to go meet my friend in Sankofa Square, which Tammie made fun of me for saying Sankofa. I can't remember the new name. It's like Young Dundas? Something? Dundas? Young Dundas? I don't know the new name. I just call it Sankofa Square because that's what it said on Google. But I was going to meet my friend there. So as I was walking up, a couple of things happened, okay? So the most normal thing, I walked through a film set and there was like all these old American cars, like all the yellow taxis, and there was old trucks and stuff, and it was kind of cool. I like walking through film sets. This is the second time it's happened. It happened in New York as well, because it's like an open street filming set. They can't really stop you unless they're actually filming. They can't stop you from walking through it. So I was just like taking my time, strolling through, looking at the cars, and I saw some of the actors. I didn't recognize anyone, and I didn't really know what they were going to film. I was going to ask someone, but then I felt too awkward to just go up to the group of people and be like, hey, what are you filming? And I didn't think the security guards would know. So I just kind of, I guess we'll find out eventually. I'll probably never find out. I never found out what they were filming in America. But yeah, that was kind of cool. But then I got back up to Nathan Phillips Square and I spoke to a cult. I nearly joined a Chinese cult. Okay, but they were really friendly, okay? Like, I'd like, normally I'm like, how does one fall into a cult? Like, surely it's obvious. Like, surely, like, you would know. But like, I saw these people doing some kind of like yoga, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I was looking at them, and then the lady kind of approached me with a clipboard and started talking to me. And I am too socially anxious to just be like, fuck off. So she started talking to me, and she was a lovely, lovely lady. So I was just kind of entertaining her, and she started telling me all about this kind of, what was it called? I have a little charm here that they gave me. A Fulan Dafa is some kind of like yoga thing, and like I kind of felt like, yeah, this is a cult, but like they don't seem that bad. Like, they seem pretty harmless, so I'll just keep talking to her. She was talking about how it's outlawed in China, and that if they were to be caught in China, they'd be like executed or like imprisoned. So her and her family had to flee China, and now they try and spread the word in China. Try and spread the word in Canada, and kind of show people that it's not a bad thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's really interesting. She started telling me about how she calls it communist China because she doesn't see it as the real China. She sees China as her home, but at the minute it's not. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. But she was a lovely lady. And she made me sign this petition. And obviously I didn't give my real name or anything. I put like Jack Smith and then a random city. And then they gave me this little charm, which I still have. And I'm surprised it's not like got a camera in it and they stopped me at security at the airport. But I got this little charm. It's like a little flower. It's like a little flower with a little thing on it going truthfulness, compassion. I'm reading this backwards. I can't really do that. Forbearance is good. And it just says Fulan Dafa is good. It's kind of cute. But they gave me this. And yeah, so I nearly joined a Chinese school because they were nice. And you know what? When I meet my friend later on, she tells me that, yes, it's a really big cult in Canada and America, and they have like compounds everywhere. But what she did say was they often recruit young people. And I took from that, oh, they thought I was young. That's great. Because I always get told I'm older than I am. Like, everyone at work thinks I'm like 29. How insulting. I know I'm haggard, but come on, guys. But no, I took that way. They thought I was young. Anyway, I've been talking for like 10 minutes. Sorry, I should get to the footage. But last thing, so yeah, met my friend, had these gorgeous pancakes. I don't know if I have a picture of them or not, so I'll just do this. And then we saw this weird guy on an ice block in Sankofa Square. It was some kind of climate thing, like demonstration thing, but like at the time no one knew what was going on. We kept asking the security guards and they were like, no, we don't know what's going on, we're just been told to come here. So that was cool. And then we went to a couple of different places. I'll tell you what, I'll show you some of the footage now. It's been 10 minutes. I'll stop holding you ransom. I was going to say handsome. So I'll stop holding you handsome. I'll stop holding you ransom, play some of the footage, and then I'll jump back in when we get to that part of the day. Okay, sorry, let's go.
It's day 3. It's a lovely day. Bright blue skies. It's supposed to rain all week. Let's go buy some books. Also, I'll say the old town hall is absolutely gorgeous. Why would they change it for that horrible modern building? Like, it's so gorgeous. Look at all the work in it. I know. Also, I'm sunburned. Shame. Looks like they're filming something. All of these old cars.
Okay, so on to the second half of the day. Sorry, I was talking for a while and I thought I'd give you a break. So for the second half of the day, we went to the gay village, mainly because I wanted to go to a bookshop called Glad Day Books. Is that the one? Tammie recommended it to me. And it wasn't really much of a bookshop. It was more of like a social kind of community area with a couple books spread out, so I didn't really buy anything, but I'm glad I went, and I'm glad that I saw the gay village as well. And it was funny because as we were walking out of the gay village, we saw another Tesla truck. Now me and my friend are obsessed with spotting them because we never seen them in person. We don't have them in England, and they are just so ugly. They're so ugly, and they're so big as well. So we saw one earlier which you saw footage of. I didn't get footage of this one, but basically I saw him and I was like, look, Alice, it's a Tesla truck. And the guy in the truck obviously saw me and he started like smiling, ah. And then I saw him smiling. I was like, I can't even think I support Tesla trucks. So I just went, and then he stuck his middle finger up at me and just flipped me off. And I thought that was kind of funny. I got flipped off by a Tesla truck, everyone. But yeah, fuck Elon Musk, who gives a shit. But I thought it was funny. And then, so after the gay village, we walked down to go see the Goodreads building. But it was all covered in scaffolding, which was very unfortunate. So we didn't actually see it. But while we were there, we went into the St. Lawrence Market just as it was closing. Literally, I think the security were like kicking people out, like exits here, and you couldn't open any doors from the outside. But we managed to slip in as someone was leaving. We slipped in, just kind of a little glance inside, and we saw them all shutting up their shops and stuff. I don't think we were interested in going back, but we kind of just saw it for the sake of seeing it. And then after that, I was kind of starting to feel a little bit, I want to go to bed. So my friend Alice went off to the harbourfront and I went back to the Rex Hotel. Oh, also, when I was walking back in Nathan Phillips Square, there was kind of like a big charity event, Sick Kids, I think it was called. There was like a big event and there was a hot air balloon you could go up and down in. I really wanted to, but there was a queue and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I feel like I should leave this for the locals that actually are supporting this for what it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the free candy floss that I saw happening. So I got free candy floss and then I watched a bit of the stage performance and then I was like, no, I need to go back to the hotel now. Well, I chilled out and then went out again and saw a couple of bookshops and got a bit of food and then that was my day. But that was day 3. So yeah, it was very fun. On to day 4. Let's go. Okay, so we're on to day 4 now. We're like past halfway through the holiday and today was a Sunday and I'd planned to meet Tammie from Tammie Reads Books. Tammie tries to read, not Tammie Reads Books. But we planned to meet up and I was very excited because this is like the first time that I met anyone off Instagram, like Bookstagram and Booktube in real life, other than Lucy from You and Me Books, who I met in New York, but like we're not really friends. That was kind of like a different vibe, you know. So other than that, Tammie is the first person that I met off Bookstagram in real life, which was really cool. So thank you, Tammie, for being willing to meet up with me and show me the bookshops in Canada. I hope I wasn't too awkward. I was feeling a bit like I couldn't hear out of my ear for like all the morning. I don't know what was up with me. But yeah, she showed me around the bookshops and it was a lovely day. We had some nice food and the best bloody donuts ever. She took me to this mochi donut thing. I don't know if I filmed it or not, like the name of it. I'll point it out if I did. But oh my god, the donuts were so flipping good. They tasted like the perfect blend of like mushy, but like pastry. I don't know how to explain it. It was just fucking gorgeous. And I went back the next day to try and get some more of the strawberry one that I'd had because I regretted only getting one. But they didn't have it. They only had the glazed one, which was really disappointing. But anyway, back to this day. Yeah, I met up with Tammie. I met up with Tammie at Backer Phoenix or Phoenix Backer Books, which is like a sci-fi fantasy bookshop. And then we went over through all the suburbs and she told me that Meghan Markle used to live there, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And she was like, yeah, she used to be like a normal celebrity you'd see around and stuff. And yeah, that was kind of cool. I loved hearing all of Tammie's thoughts on The Boyfriend, the show on Netflix. It's like a Japanese dating show. Go watch it if you haven't already. That was really fun because I've not met anyone else who's actually watched that. I'm trying to get my friends to watch it, but no one will watch it. So it was actually really cool that Tammie had seen that and we got to chat about that. But then we went over down to like Koreatown, and we went to the Mochi Donut Shop, and we went to Little Ghost Bookshop. And the lady there that was working there at this time we were there, she was so lovely. She kept giving us books, like recommendations, and Tammie was just like, I'll read anything sapphic. So she was giving Tammie all these sapphic books, and I was kind of a bit harder. I was like, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I just like vibes. And then she kept handing me books, and I was like, not really interested. But now I've got like a handful of books I don't want, so I was kind of like, I'll just put this on the side. Eventually we did get something, because I was like, I don't want to leave without buying something. I want to buy something. I ended up getting some like of their own publication books. I'll show it all off in a future haul video. I don't know, I can't be bothered to do it now. But yeah, I got a bunch, like 2-3 books from there. So I was happy with that. And it's like a Spidey one, there's like a gay cowboy one, and I was like, are they friends in this one, or are they more than friends? And they just laughed away, they're more than friends. And I'm like, that's perfect, I'll have this one. But yeah, anyway, that was me and Tammie. She even took me down, she walked me all the way back to the Rex Hotel, which I don't know if that was just so she could get the tram from there or whatever it was, whether she was just like looking out for me. But I really appreciate that, Tammie. Thanks for taking me back to my hotel. But she was pointing out things like, oh, don't go to that McDonald's, you'll get stabbed. And I'm like, I came down here yesterday, oh dear. And we went down Graffiti Alley, which was really cool. Here's a picture of us both. My hair is horrible, don't look at me, look at Tammie, she's awesome. But yeah, it was a lovely day, so let's get into the footage of that. It's day 4, and I'm about to go see Tammie to do some book shopping. Let's go. Okay, so that was day 4. Absolutely brilliant. Loved meeting Tammie. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful host. I don't know if I'm ever coming back to Canada or Toronto, but if I do, I will be hitting you up again and making you come book shopping with me, because you're amazing. Anyway, on to day 5. Now, day 5, I woke up and I was like, I feel rough. I feel very rough. And I tried to buy medicine like twice, today and then the day after, but because I take other medicine, I wasn't everything I bought I then searched up. I should have done it in the shop, but I didn't. I just kept buying things. No, the thing I bought today was like a nasal spray thing, because my nose was blocked. It didn't work. And then I bought Tylenol the next day, and then Googled the ingredients just to make sure, and I couldn't take it. So I just had a box of Tylenol that I'd already opened, and I was like, for God's sake, I'll just stick with the paracetamol then. And yeah, I felt so rough today, and I was like out of breath constantly. But this was the day that I was meeting up with my friends, and we're going to Casa Loma, which is an hour walk away from where we're going. So it was a very slow walk. I kept having to sit down because I was just so like breathy and stuff. But we made it to Casa Loma. We had a nice walk round. It's like the weirdest preserved place ever, but I'm just going to play the footage and then I'll talk about it after, because it was weird. It was very weird. wasn't that weird. Like, it's a castle built within the last 100 years, and it's like weirdly modern. Like, because I'm British, like, we have castles that are like older than the United States. So I don't know. I wouldn't call it a castle. I'd call it a mansion. But it was so weird, and it's used a lot in like movies. So there's a lot of movie memorabilia, and there's a wax museum, which was really weird because all the waxworks were freaking creepy. Like, they felt like something out of a horror movie that were going to come alive and kill you. Like, they look nothing like the real people. Some of them justifiable, like Justine. What did they do to Jessica Chastain, the poor woman? But yeah, some of them looked absolutely terrible. Oh my god, the Salma Hayek one, nightmare fuel. Oh my god, I was terrified. I didn't know who it was supposed to be, and I looked at the sign and I'm like, what have they done to this queen? Like, oh my god. There was a wax museum. There were some old things, like some of the cars and stuff that this guy had, but like they weren't even that old, and it was like, this place is really weird, and it's kind of got like a bunch of the rooms like shut off as they've been made into escape rooms and stuff, and it's like, what is this place? This place is weird. The best thing was seeing it from the outside, because it was actually pretty on the outside. The inside is just weird, and we went up the towers, and again, entitled American alert, beep 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 beep, they were there again in force. We were like going up one of the towers, and because it's like this tiny spiral staircase to go up, it's like a one-way system. You go up and then you have to come down the same one, but you kind of take turns. But these Americans didn't understand that, because as we were coming down, they just started shouting, "Stop! Stop!" So we're like, oh gosh, something's going on. Okay, we'll back up and we'll wait. And then 2 Americans come up, and then everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, wait your turn. Because we were like already halfway down. So it was like, it was our right of way, but okay. But they barged their way up, and then we saw them in the other tower, and they did a similar thing when me and my friend Alice were waiting to come down. I'd let 2 people up because they kind of like looked up, and I thought, oh, just come up. And then they came up, and then as we were going down, the Americans ran up to get a thing. They stopped halfway the staircase, kind of head up just above the floor, kind of looking, and we're kind of like, you're gonna come up, like, we need to get past. They kind of stood there, no, we won't go up this tower. And then they went down again. It's like, oh great, it's not like we're waiting to go down or anything. But that was very annoying, just more entitled American tourists. But yeah, Casa Loma was weird. There was also like a museum on like the top floor, but not the towers, that I was just sat down because I was like, I can't do a museum right now, I just need to sit down and blow my nose. Okay. So I'll let Alice do all that. But yeah, after we went to Casa Loma, I took Alice to Baca Phoenix, or Phoenix Baca, I can't remember which way around it was. Books, I also took her to the donut shop, like I said, but they didn't have the strawberry one that I wanted, so I got a glazed donut. And then after that, I was like, I want to go home, but I just had a look in her hostel that she was staying at, and then walked through Chinatown, got my grandma and Magda, and then went back to the hotel and just chilled out, because, well, oh, no, I stopped for pizza, because it looked really good, and this old man was having a go about like this blow up plush slushy dog thing, and then he started a conversation with me, and he was clearly angry, and he was like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from England. And he's like, oh yeah, I can tell. I was like, okay, where are you from? And he's like, I'm not telling you that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I got my pizza, and I went to walk out, and he went, why don't you go piss on that dog? And I'm like, what's going on? Okay, bye. That was kind of awkward as well. I don't know why I get in these situations, but anyway, let's get on to, have I shown the footage for today? I can't even remember. Let's see the footage for this. I think, no, this is the end clip. Sorry, I'm getting so confused. I'm filming all these in a row. You've seen Casa Loma, you've seen everything. Okay, let's get on to the next day, which is the final day before I go home. So on to the last day, and I had to check out at 11, but my flight wasn't until 11 at night, like 11 p.m. So I had the entire day, and I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Because I pretty much done everything I wanted to do. So I was like, you know what? Okay, so I'll leave my bags with the Rex Hotel, because they very graciously accept 2 bags that they can hold on until you get your flight. So I left my suitcase and stuff there. And then I decided I'll take a very slow walk up to the ROM Museum, the Royal Ontario Museum. but my bag was filled with books and my back was killing me. So all the time walk up, I'm just like looking, where can I buy a suitcase? Where can I buy an extra suitcase? And I did end up buying an extra suitcase for all my books, just books, which is funny because when I got to the airport, they did a random drug search on me. And he was like, can I open this? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. And he was like, what's in it? And I was like, literally just books. There's nothing in there apart from books. It's like Mistborn, 2 sets of Mistborn, there's a bunch of other books, there's nothing else in there, but I was like, it's just books. And he kind of opened it, like not believing me, and then he was like, oh, okay. That was kind of funny. But anyway, back to this. So I took a slow walk up to the ROM. My back was killing me. I was still kind of feeling a bit rough, but a lot better than yesterday. I think, yeah, the previous day to this was the roughest day. I was literally like dying, and I was dragged an hour away to Casa Loma. But I wanted to see it. It was the last thing on the list. I had to go. But today I was feeling a little bit better, but it was still rough, and it didn't help that I had like 50 tons on my back. So I'm walking around the museum, and I didn't realise that there's a place where you could leave your bag until I was already in. And then I was like, I can't be bothered to go back and pay, so I'll just suffer. So I'm walking around this museum. I'm very much a person that kind of speeds through museums. I don't like reading everything. I kind of just like look at things and go, oh, that's really interesting. Next. Oh, that's really interesting. Next. But I did take a lot of time to just sit down and chill out. Especially when my best friend started texting me about her boy drama in the middle of this museum. And I'm like, yeah, interested. I'll sit down for an hour and talk about this. So I managed to kill a couple hours in there. And then I went to a place called, I think it was called Wilkins or something like that, and it was basically their version of TK Maxx, and I managed to get a suitcase. I literally sat on the floor and FaceTimed my mum and was like, is this a nice bag? I can't be bothered to stand up right now. Is this a nice bag? I ended up getting like a £50 suitcase, but it's like really cool. I'm really obsessed with this new suitcase that I have. But yeah, it was probably a bit much, but hey, it's better than being charged for an overweight bag. Then I slowly walked all the way back. Well, no, I actually sped walked all the way back because I wanted to try pea-meal bacon. This thing. I ended up not even getting pea-meal bacon. This was Montreal smoked beef. You've just been catfished. But yeah, I really wanted to try pea-meal bacon. And I saw this one place that had it on the menu. So I went all the way to this place, went in, didn't see it on the menu. Went, oh, it's probably the same thing as Montreal smoked beef. So I had that. And then I saw it on the second menu that was on a different wall. And I was like, oh, I could have had it, but I've already eaten now and I'm full. And the place is going to close in 10 minutes. So I was like, I'm not going to get them to cook more meat. That was a shame. I missed out on pea-meal bacon, but I assume it's just sweet bacon. But I tried Montreal smoked beef and it was horrible. It was like really slushy meat. And I think it was just way too much for it, but it felt like it wasn't even cooked. I was like, it was nice in the first bite, and then it just kind of went on and it was like, but yeah, let's go on to the footage of the museum, because after that I just kind of sat in a smoothie shop for 2 hours, got taxis to the airport, went through the airport, sat at the airport for hours on end. I had to go from they started us on one terminal on one side of the airport, and then they changed the gate, so we had to go all the way to the other side of the airport. I keep saying me. I was flying alone again. And then yeah, I got the flight home. I had a whole roll of loo roll with me, and I got through most of it with my block nose, the poor people next to me. I was on the window seat, luckily, so I was kind of like hunched away from them, so they didn't get the meal. And then I got home, my mum drove me home, we got a flat tyre on the way back. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, let's go into the footage from the museum, and I'll stop listen to me ramble. You probably already skipped this anyway. But yeah, here's some footage from the museum and some like eye-catching things. Or things I just felt like I should probably get footage of just to fill up the video. But yeah, here's the footage from the thing. Okay, so that is the end of my Canada vlog. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was such a fun adventure, and I'm so proud of myself for going to a whole different continent for my first time traveling alone. Obviously, I met my friend there, but like I did the whole plane thing by myself. There was a couple of days, and a lot of the time I was just by myself anyway. But yeah, I'm really proud of myself. I could have just gone somewhere in Europe, like really easy. But no, I went to a different continent. All the way to Canada. But yeah, I did meet some amazing people, mainly Tammie, obviously, who I went there and saw, but also the tour guide, you know, and vicariously met similarly to Kim's Convenience. Can we say that? No, probably not. But yeah, I met 2 people. One person properly, one person I was just kind of really enjoyed hearing from. Anyway, so yeah, met some amazing people, went to some amazing bookshops. I bought 24 books. Bought an extra suitcase for my books. Interesting. I nearly joined the Chinese cult. I walked through a movie set. I got told to piss on a dog. I went up the CN Tower and walked on the glass floor. I saw Niagara Falls. It was absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed every second of it. Mostly every second of it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I often see my vlogs as like time capsules for like future me to look back to, but I always appreciate when other people watch them and enjoy them too. Because I don't know, I feel like being a travel vlogger would be really fun, but I don't have the commitment to do that. But yeah, I am editing this and posting it 2 months after the fact, but hopefully you still enjoy. And I do have another trip planned this weekend for my birthday. So yeah, I need this footage off my phone. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for all the support. Leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.